So I think I figured out this whole situation with Lord Paramount Ned of the Northwoods. He was originally in Vaylor's court after it was basically a coup. They kicked him out, and then Vaylor was able to legitimize him because he was in his court. So instead of doing that, and I've worked it out to where it's still, House Kodlak is still underneath House Bear as a something of a cadet dynasty. I wasn't able to do it properly, at least as properly as I would like to, but I have it worked out now to where he is back as Lord Paramount in the Northwoods. The claims against him have been kind of at least marginalized, and we're able to kind of move forward from here, I think, with some margin of peace here in the Northwoods. There was one situation in a previous iteration where I had corrupted video files for this episode, where he surrendered the Lord Paramount title to House Blackwood down here in Martlet Bay. But if that happens, we'll deal with it. We'll have to see how everything goes. But as long as he holds Moat Cailin, that is my goal for him. My plan for him is to hold Moat Cailin, and I'd rather a custom house, hold that. So we'll see. He's got some kids that I need to start working with and getting them on board with everything. So incorporating them into how the series is going. But that kind of squares that away. We've got a war here in the Bear's Claw that we've got to take care of, and let's jump into that. But first, let's roll the intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here in this Custom House series. We are currently in the process of helping our dear friend, Lord Paramount Edric Weirwood, the Mountain That Rides, handle this little war he's got going on. Revolt against his quote-unquote tyranny. This guy is definitely an interesting aspect of this. So because I gave the Lord Paramount title here, I think I probably reset some of these opinion modifiers, which is not good, but also, I guess it's not terrible. They don't hate me that much, at least as much as Atreus does. So we're going to be merciful to these guys. We'll be fine there. Actually, I'm actually gonna go in. Wow, Stormland Liberation Revolt. That's interesting. Give me 1 second. Let me go into prisoners. We're gonna ransom. We're gonna release. We're going to release. There we go. All right, all of that is good. Where is this revolt? Ooh, Stormlander Liberation Revolt is a huge revolt. Let's see. That certainly gets interesting here. There's a couple of peasant revolts here. Not gonna do that. Alright, so let's actually raise up the Stormlander army right here. Let's put ourselves in command, since we want all of the benefits of the Dragon Rider trait. Let's squash this Stormlander Liberation Revolt. I need to reinforce the flank over here, so we'll actually do Master Willard and let them go. And we're going to siege down Maidenpool. I think that's a good start. We can figure out the rest. I think actually if I raise up the armies of the Northwoods, that's good. And we march on Derry, we can actually start to squash that. That can have a weak commander for the time being, just because it's a giant army and there's no army up here that can challenge that. So let's work on getting our morale up here with this army, and then we can take on this army here at Stonehelm. Okay. It actually should not be that long before the morale goes all the way up. about half. Let's march on Stone Elm. Looks like we have a couple of... Oh, we have disease here. Okay. What disease is that? Is that Bloody Flux? Yeah, Bloody Flux is that color. So it looks like we have Bloody Flux here in the Bear's Claw, but our disease resistance in Bear Hall is pretty high. 20% disease resistance. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out going forward, but it'll be interesting to say the least. Let's see if this army reacts the way they should and try to save this army right here. It doesn't look like they are so far. They may wait till we engage. I have a crossing penalty, so that doesn't help our situation very much. Okay. My studies and training have taught me the general tactics of flank and center, but I can hardly master everything. So if the center cannot hold, the battle is over, we become a direct leader. Outflanking the enemy is tried and true. We become a flanker. I must learn to create choke points, so that I become a battlefield terrain master, or the main secret is to be unpredictable. So I get Trickster. Trickster adds some experimentality, which is fine in some instances, but it doesn't really help us too much going forward here. I think either Battlefield Terrain Master or Direct Leader. Leading the center plus 20% or narrow flank plus 50%. It all depends on where we typically are. We're not really an organizer, so I don't like to be the direct leader of the army unless we are. So it may be better to become the Battlefield Terrain Master in the sense that if we are, if we're really on the flank and we're not able to deploy our dragon in the battle, which is typical if you're fighting in the mountains and that kind of thing, it may be better to be a Battlefield Terrain Master, at least for right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and become Battlefield Terrain Master, and we can move forward on picking the rest of our traits as they come up. Looks like we have till the 13th of November before these guys can even arrive. Yeah, we're gonna win that battle, no problem. Alright, so we actually completely defeated that army. We decimated them. Alright, let's move forward up here. Attack this army, this main force. Okay, they don't have a whole flank, so we're doubling their center. Okay, everything looks good there. Let's advance. Yeah, look, we don't have any chance of losing that battle. That's good. All right, 100% war score for this liberation revolt. Offer peace and force demands. Good. Now let's disband this unit. Let's go check on this siege of Derry. 80 men. Let's assault that holding. I don't really care about losing the men here. Or we have Maidenpool, 755, but they're about halfway. Okay, liberate all of those guys. That's good. We can go ahead and assault this second part. We'll be merciful to any of our captives. I don't know why I occupied Derry. Let's go ahead and smash this army right here. Get back some war score for Edric. There's a man I need to arrest, and another I want to assassinate. My spy master, Hellman, could either help me with the arrest or the assassination, but not both. So let's go ahead and do the arrest, because we're not really trying to assassinate anybody right now. We should win this battle, no problem. Good. Good. Lady Eliana. And actually, we can go ahead and move this army down here. I think all of their forces have been pretty much defeated. Let's be merciful to Lady Eliana. A recent conversion of the location, I don't know what that means, to old gods has caused great unrest in the unfaithful parts of your realm. Both noble and peasant alike feel threatened. They'll understand eventually, I think. So, we definitely want the old gods. Let's disband this unit. Lady Ravella Whitewood is now known as the Evil. Well, I can't say I disagree. I mean, Lord Manfred is currently our ward. He's being tutored by us. We need to go ahead and become a part of this flank right here. We could deploy the dragon in the siege, but we're not going to do that. So I think we actually have room for one more ward. And I think I know the perfect target. I think if we go after the son right here of the high, or the Lord Paramount, so the king, hopefully that pop-up comes up eventually. Lord Paramount Clove over here, we can hopefully start to restore a little bit of good fighter traits over here in the cliffs, the Kingdom of the Cliffs. How did you guys end up in the north? High Lordship of the Dreadfort. Must have been some wonky vassal inheritance there, or that has passed out from the realm. Okay, we'll have to deal with that eventually. What's going on down here? Peasant revolt for Amberley. Alright, let's see if we can raise these levies back up. And let's put Eden on the flank and Igan on this side. Let's go see if we can take care of this peasant revolt here in the Southwoods, while we're also dealing with these sieges up here. They definitely don't have the men to deal with us right now. So I saw the enemy troops. The other side of this is Beslin's also dealing with De jure war over Tumbledon. So we'll have to see what he's what he deals with there. Oh, populations of Weil has been converted to the old god's faith. Interesting. All right, they're gonna travel before we get there. Oh, look at this. My king, I, Braden Bear, sincerely ask that I be allowed to pursue a career at the Citadel in Old Town. So this is our secret bastard brother. He's been given a martial education. And Maester Thorne's done a good job of getting his intrigue up. He is a suspected bastard. And it would take away his claims. Because he's the secret bastard, I'm gonna go ahead and give him leave to go. Let him, let him do his thing. We have plenty of male members of House Bear to procure the line, and I don't want there to come back. I don't want there to be a situation where it comes back that an inheriting member of House Bear ends up with the bastard trait or whatever. So I'll give you leave. Good luck. Go have fun. Go do your thing. Why did that make you hate me more? Okay, so we're gonna... My king, I'm pleased to report the successful siege of Poolguard. Lord Cosgrove Coldwater could not be found, however, so we're gonna take his family into house arrest. We're gonna pursue this army here up in Faring Cross. They shouldn't be able to escape. They shouldn't be able to get away from us. Good. Alright, So that handles the war in the Bear Claw, or in the Bear's Claw. This should deal with this peasant revolt. Okay, good. They have come back into the fold, so we can actually disband this unit. Alright, looks like we can't really go forward from here without... or he's got to declare the... There we go. Athos accepted Lord Paramount Beslin of the Southwoods peace offer. So there we go. Lord Desmond of Seaguard has declared Lord Desmond of Seaguard's war for the Northwoods on Lord Paramount Ned of the Northwoods. So we can actually command him to end his war. Let's see. Yeah, command to end war. We can ransom all prisoners really quick. Sir Grant's Sigwart, or Swigert. Interesting. Let's go ahead and banish him to the Night's Watch. I'm cool with that. You guys will disband the unit, and for prisoners, she can be ransomed. That's fine. Okay. Good. No more prisoners for me. Once the war for Tumbledon is won, I don't think Beslin's going to win, but I don't think I can join his war. Once that war is finished, he should come back into the fold, no problem, and we'll have a completed look at the woods once again. Wow, okay. So, this clip has been rather long. Let me go ahead and allow my mind to kind of settle on what we're going to do next. Now that we've kind of got everything back where it should be, we can at least get everything placed into the proper location and get our plan going. I think if we plan on some more campaigns before we take the Reach, we can have a few more well-defined borders. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Let me get my head on straight, and I will be right back. All right, guys. So the war over here in the Northwoods, they haven't actually declared anything yet, or responded to my command for them to end. But it is pretty stacked against Lord Paramount Ned. So it depends on what the Lord Desmond does. I can brand him a traitor and help, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants Ned to actually be the Lord Paramount of the Northwoods. So I believe in the other iteration, the footage that was corrupted, he actually just didn't even want to fight the war. He just kind of said, "Okay, you're fine. You can be Lord Paramount," and rather than fighting the war. But they're vastly outnumbered, manpower wise. So hopefully he listens to the command to end the war, and I don't have to brand him a traitor. But this gives us a good opportunity to look at the borders here and what our plan is going forward. So these little pockets, I think I'm going to let Lord Paramount Oswell take what's rightfully his here in the Redwoods for right now. I think that's probably the best situation, as to kind of allow him to do his thing over here. I know he has requested the Giant's Lance to be his castle, so I'm going to let him take that back and incorporate that back before I give that to him. I think that'll be kind of... he has Breakstone right now, which is kind of a small castle on the coast, just because it was the first one available. And it's been House Redhorn's seat for quite a few years, but it makes sense for the Erie to become the capital, because look at the fort level and look at the just look at the large scale nature of the thing. So it just makes sense for that to be kind of the seat of the Lord Paramount, needless to say. I do like this guy, House Timber. I like the house name, and I like the sigil. That's a really cool sigil to just kind of randomly appear. So I don't want this guy to just disappear and go away. I want him to be, at least roughly a part of what's going on over here. But it makes sense for us to allow them to kind of duke it out, fight their own battle, and work it out that way. This problem right here, River Run, it kind of stands to reason that we should take that back from the North, obviously, because a blip in the center of our map being owned by the North is not cool. The good news is I think I can declare de jure wars multiple at the same time. So essentially, the 3 de jure claims we have are River Run, the Fingers, and the Sisters. And the Sisters have some really cool stuff going on right now. I kind of want to show you everything that's going on. So the Sisters follow the pirate gods, Lady of the Waves. There's some really good characters here. This guy right here from House Sunderland is a good character, and he owns he doesn't own this one too, but House Glover owns the center island in the Sisters, and then House Nightman over here owns the Little Sister. So it'd be cool to take the Sisters just to have a little bit of diversity and dynamic. Let them operate on their own, of course, but that kind of allows them to do their own thing. So having the River Run, the Fingers, and the Sisters, we can declare those de jure wars all at once and take on the North. And I really don't think the North stands a chance. I think we can fight the North with just the armies of the North Woods and be in good shape and not have to worry about it. The other side of this is that we want to be able to take Greywater Watch, at least, from the Neck. And I don't have a war over it, and I think we have a truce with them. We can claim Greywater Watch for Lord Dennett of Silverreed, and it would become a part of everything we have. I wouldn't have to worry about it. Oh, we do have a truce. Okay. We do have a truce with them. So we have to wait for the truce to expire before we do that, or we have to wait for the ruler to change. I think there's a chance this guy is going to die at some point. He has in the past anyways, and what I've seen, he's died. So there is a chance that he could, fall away, and our truce is now, null and void, and we can move forward here without any issue. So I don't think there's going to be too big of an issue going forward, taking Greywater Watch and allowing this to be all the Northwoods right here, and allowing the northern border to be Moat Cailin. And I know that there's been a little bit of talk about why I would do that, and the reason, because Moat Cailin is right here on the edge of these impassable mountains and guarding against the swamplands of the Neck. It makes sense for it to be the northern border, because in the same way that it serves as the northernmost point that the South has been able to take and hold in the North, they, like, in actual canon history, they haven't been able to take past the past Moat Cailin. They've been able to take past the Neck, but not past Moat Cailin. It stands to reason that it should also serve the same function for northern lords coming south. So regardless of what ends up happening with the North, it serves as the choke point for gathering armies, but it also serves as kind of the northernmost point at which the North would be able to withstand. It's a pretty good castle. It's only got a 6 fort level, but the potential to, it's because it needs these modifiers to actually be what they should be, in order to really improve. See, 1 level of Moat Cailin gives a +5 fort level, so that bumps it up to 11, which makes it a great castle for being what it is. So if we're able to kind of build that and allow that to go, how much was that? 150? Let's go ahead and start that. I'll go ahead and start that being built and allow that to kind of take over. I think I don't know if there's multiple levels or not. There's only 1. Okay, but still, a fort level of 11 makes it that much harder for them to take going forward. So that'll serve as our northernmost point in the Northwoods, and then we'll be able to kind of work that out. There's this one little county right here. The Old Stones is part of the Goldwoods for some reason. I'll square that away later. I'm not really worried about that at the moment. I do need to sort out this High Lordship being under the Stormwoods, but I will once the Southwoods deal with their stuff. So there is also the issue of Tumbledon being taken from the Southwoods that we have to kind of deal with. So it'll be these 3 counties are all part of Tumbledon, which will kind of make Byford sit out on its own over here. Let's look back at it's easier to see in direct vassal's view, basically. But so once Tumbleton's taken, Byford will be a part of the Southwoods, but it kind of stands out here on its own. So we need to take a look and see what we want to incorporate it as, what we want it to be a part of while we take back Tumbleton. The borders of the Southwoods will change a few more times, I think, as we go forward. It makes it a little bit difficult to deal with whenever they're currently infighting, going on. The Reach waited until we were in Mega War to declare this war for Tumbleton, but Byford could be a part of the Goldwoods, technically. There's not really any natural border here, and the river kind of forms that natural border, separating it from the Den, which would be the next logical point of kingdoms that it could go to. That view's a little bit better for you. So I want you to leave a comment down below. Do you think it'll look better as part of the Goldwoods or as part of the Den while we kind of take care of what's going on in the Southwoods? The Southwoods will shrink significantly with Tumbleton gone, but we'll be able to take that back once we begin our campaigning in the Reach, which I think you guys will have to let me know. So let me know what you think about Byford. Let me know what you think about next campaign. Should it be the North and taking our de jure claims, or should we begin conquesting the Reach? I'm in favor of doing the North first, just because I think Aelix would want to round out his borders and file all of his de jure claims in before campaigning and securing new borders to the south. But I do know that we have a couple of Patreon supporters who need or who are going to become our new Lords Paramount down here in the Reach. I think the Reach will be divided into 2 or 3 kingdoms depending on how I see the natural borders playing out. So I have 2 new Lord Paramounts that have graciously donated through Patreon, and I promise I'm not going to talk about this a ton. That's not what I like to do, but I do want to just kind of make a quick plug for it in case you're unfamiliar with the concept. It's basically an opportunity for you to give back and help support the content that you enjoy. And so if you enjoy this channel and you participate and all that kind of stuff, it's an opportunity for you to be involved at a more or at a deeper level, basically. So if you feel inclined and you go check out donation values start at $1 a month, which is very, very negligible. But if you think about it, the 500 people that are going to watch this video today, donating $1 a month helps me get to the first goal, which is making videos every day. Basically, at $500, I've determined and budgeted that I'm able to create videos 7 days a week. And so if that's something that you feel inclined to do, I encourage you to go on there and do that. There are other levels that you can donate, $5, $10, and $15, and each of those has special things associated with them. Anyways, there's Patreon specific content that I'm working on that will be released, and stuff that only they will get to see. So I encourage you to at least go check it out. If you have any questions, message me on Discord or leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer whatever questions I possibly can regarding that. So but yeah, this is kind of the outlook going forward. I think campaigning in the North has its merits in terms of rounding out our de jure borders and then campaigning for Greywater Watch. But if you guys think we should just jump feet first and jump straight into the Reach here, let me know. I'm excited about the possibilities down there, but I want to know what you guys think. I don't want to make decisions based on what I believe. I want you guys to be involved as much as possible. So let me know what you think, and yeah, I think this is a good place to jump off for the next episode, at least, and move forward from here. We were able to kind of squash that rebellion in the Bear's Claw. We were able to squash a rebellion in the Stormwoods and help the Southwoods deal with their peasant revolt. So if the Northwoods and the Blackwoods get a little bit unruly, we'll have to see what we do about that. But we should be able to do a foreign campaign here fairly quickly. So, and then as always, Bloody Flux is knocking on our door, and what will we do? Only time will tell on the next episode of House Bear. No, I'm sorry, that was really, really lame. I don't know what I was going for.